Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. So I think I messed up yesterday. Basically I showed you guys a different type of stove and fuel that you could use in your bug out bag or get home bag, and then I went ahead and showed you the worst example of that stove and fuel. Well, with regards to the fuel, if the most important thing to you is the environment and you're willing to carry a ton of extra fuel tabs, then I guess the BCB would work specifically for you. But for most people, it's not going to be the best example of what I showed you guys. So today we are going to take a look at the best example. This is the Esbit Pocket Stove. There's the packaging for it. And here's the stove. Obviously, when you take it out of the box, it's going to be all gray. That's what happens after you use it. And this stove is so much better than the BCB Fire Dragon in every single way, except the fuel tabs are not environmentally friendly. In fact, there's a warning on the box about being careful with the fuel tabs, and here's what they look like. Now, just ignore that cross cut into the fuel tab. This is not 4 fuel tabs in one. You don't break them off individually. This is one fuel tab. I'm not quite sure why they put a cross on the bottom of the fuel tab, but you do not break this off into 4 pieces. This is one fuel tab right here, and that's the biggest advantage compared to the BCB fuel tab. It's smaller, it's denser. One of these fuel tabs will allow you to boil 16 fluid ounces of water. That's right, one of these smaller but denser fuel tabs will get the job done when it comes to boiling 16 ounces of water. You only need one, and when it's done boiling that water, there's going to be a very small amount of it left. That's it. So, as I mentioned yesterday, one of the large rectangular BCB Fire Dragon fuel tabs will not get the job done. You're going to have to open up a second one, and you can only carry 3 of those fuel tabs inside the BCB. So that's 3 fuel tabs. You're going to need just under 1.5 fuel tabs to boil 16 ounces of water. So that translates into 2 boils that you can carry with you inside the BCB. Now, the Esbit, that's a different story. Let's open her up, and as you can see, because the fuel tabs in the Esbit are smaller, you can actually carry 4 fuel tabs inside the Esbit stove instead of 3 for the BCB, and each one of these fuel tabs by itself is capable of boiling 16 fluid ounces of water. So unlike the BCB, that gives you roughly 2 16 ounces of water boils, with the Esbit you get 4. So it's literally twice as good in that department. Now the Esbit opens up in 2 positions. This one is for wider pots and pans. There's also a 45-degree angle. Now that might not seem very stable, but it is. And unlike the BCB, you can use this particular cooker numerous times and these arms will not loosen up, they will not flop around, not at all. So unlike the BCB, the Esbit does not need a brace that is advertised as a windshield and really does a piss poor job of working as a windshield. Now these fuel tabs burn quite hot enough that you do not need a windscreen or a windshield, and you don't get one with the stove. Now, the nice thing about the Esbit, when you buy this stove, it actually comes with 6 fuel tabs. That's right. It comes with 6 fuel tabs. The BCB comes with none. And since the Esbit is rather easily available in North America at places like REI or online, both the stove and the fuel tabs that you can buy separately if you need more are very, very reasonably priced. Let's take a look at a side-by-side comparison. Okay, now as you can see, the Esbit is also shorter in length than the BCB. When it comes to height, the Esbit is just a little bit narrower. When it comes to width, they're exactly the same. But like I said, the Esbit is so much better in so many ways than the BCB. It's really a no-brainer. I mean, unless you are super dedicated and care about the environment, or someone gives you one for free, along with the fuel tabs for free, there's really no reason to go with the BCB compared to the Esbit. Let's take a slightly closer look at the Esbit. Get these fuel tabs out of the way. And as you can see, oh yes, I've used this. Now, just like the BCB, on the Esbit, the fuel tab goes right in the middle. Now this may look horrible and nasty, but the truth is, cleaning the residue from a fuel tab in the middle of the BCB stove is a huge pain in the neck. Taking care of what's left of the fuel tab here is so much easier. I don't recommend taking your knife. Maybe take the flat screwdriver feature from your multi-tool or your Swiss Army knife, or if you have a small pry bar, yeah, just pry the piece off. That's all you have to do. And this is so much easier to clean. That might not look clean, and I admit it's not, but if you just want to pry the residue off, it is so simple to do so. Again, just like on the BCB, you put the fuel tab designed for the stove right in the middle. This is so much easier to clean. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I highly recommend the Esbit Pocket Stove. This thing is the best example of the concept that we talked about yesterday. Definitely. Highly recommended. Again, all 4 corners are sharp, so wrap a bandana or a towel around this before you put it in your pack.